In honor of Cinco de Mayo, I'm going to show you how to make quesadillas with guacamole, pico de gallo, and a lime crema. So let's get our ingredients prepped so we can chop one time for our whole dish. You're going to need 1 whole tomato, 1 small avocado, 1 serrano chili or about 1/4 of a jalapeno pepper, 1 tablespoon of chopped cilantro, 1 lime, 1 whole onion, and 2 tablespoons of sour cream. You're also going to need 1 clove of garlic, minced, as well as salt and pepper to taste. So let's get ready to prepare our ingredients. The first thing we're going to do is mince our cilantro. I clean the cilantro, I pick the leaves off the stem, then I bunch them up in a pile, and then I begin to mince them. I find this is the easiest technique because if I have them all together in a pile, it goes much quicker. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to dice our onion. Because this onion is going in a salsa and a guacamole, it's really important to get the dice as small as possible. Not as small as a brunoise, but a little bit smaller than a small dice. Make sure you make your horizontal cuts, your vertical cuts, and then you're going to make your cross cuts. Next, we're going to dice our tomato. Our tomato should be about the same size as our onion. I would like to take the seeds out of the tomato because I feel like they make the salsa and the guacamole too watery, so I will take them out and then I will dice my tomato. I make slices, I make stick cuts, and then I make my dices. Next, I'm going to mince or chop my pepper. This is a serrano chili. You can also use about 1/4 of a jalapeno pepper for this recipe. They are both hot peppers. This serrano is a little bit spicier, but to dull down that spice a little bit, I like to take the seeds and any of the ribs out because that will help with the heat, because most of the heat is found on the inside and in the seeds of the pepper. I'm going to make these as small as possible because I want to make sure that it's evenly distributed throughout my guacamole and my pico de gallo. Just make sure that after you touch any hot peppers, you do not touch your eyes. Wash your hands immediately following the chopping of these. So now that all of our prep is done for our pico de gallo and our lime crema, let's put these things together. The first thing we're going to do is our lime crema. For this, you need the zest of 1/2 of a lime. The zest is the outer layer of the lime, the green part. Do not zest all the way down to the white, the pith, as that part is bitter. The outside is where the flavor and the oils are. You need 1/4 of a lime juiced, salt and pepper to taste. After you combine all of those ingredients together, mix them well, and then put it in the fridge so that the flavors can marinate together. Next up is our pico de gallo, which is a fresh tomato salsa. Very simple. 2 teaspoons of cilantro, 1 garlic clove, 1/2 a plum tomato diced, 1/4 onion diced, 1/8 of a jalapeno or 1/2 of a serrano chili, 1/4 of a lime juiced, and salt and pepper to taste. Mix well, taste for seasoning, and then put it in the refrigerator until you're ready to use it. Next up, we're going to make guacamole. You're going to need 1 avocado for this. How do we know our avocado is ripe? The skin is shiny, slightly darker, and it should feel soft but not mushy. For this, you're going to need a teaspoon of cilantro chopped, 1/2 a plum tomato diced, 1 avocado, 1/4 of a small onion diced, 1/8 of a jalapeno or 1/2 a serrano chili, 1/2 a lime juiced, and salt and pepper to taste. We're going to start off by combining our tomato, onion, peppers, and our cilantro. We're going to combine them well. I like to mash them down a little bit to release any of the flavors. I add my lime juice, and now I'm going to cut open my avocado. To cut the avocado, you're going to place it on a cutting board, cut it lengthwise around the seed, cut into the avocado until the knife hits the seed, then rotate the fruit with one hand while keeping the knife steady in the other hand. use the heel of a knife to take out the seed. Just twist it and it should come right out. Just be careful as it is a little bit dangerous. Next, I'm going to slice the inside of the avocado flesh and make it into cubes so it is easier for me to mash up. I'm going to take a spoon and I'm going to scoop all of the flesh out of the avocado, add it to my tomato, onion, and lime mixture, and I'm going to mash it. If the avocado is very soft, you should be able to use a spoon to mash it. If not, I actually used a potato masher. Mine wasn't the ripest avocado, but it was the only one that I had. Once I've gotten it to the consistency I'm looking for, I'm going to taste the guacamole, and then I'm going to put it on the side for when I'm ready to use it. If you're not ready to use it right away and you want to prevent it from browning, you can take the pit of the avocado, put it into the guacamole, and then cover it, making sure that the plastic wrap touches the guacamole, and that should help prevent it from oxidizing or browning. Our last step is to make our quesadillas. For this, you're going to need 2 10-inch tortillas, about a cup of shredded cheese. I used cheddar cheese and mozzarella. I'm going to need 1 bell pepper sliced. You're also going to need a half of a white onion sliced, 2 teaspoons of olive oil, salt, and pepper. So I'm going to saute my onions and my pepper until they are soft in a little bit of olive oil with salt and pepper. I actually like to get a little bit of char on the outside of the peppers and the onions because it gives an added flavor to my quesadilla. When they are done, I'm going to spray a large pan. I'm using a griddle pan with some pan spray. I'm going to put my first tortilla down. When my pan is hot, I'm going to spread the cheese all over the quesadilla, leaving a little bit of space around the edges so that it doesn't melt out all over. I'm going to top that with my peppers and onions. Don't be shy with them. They are delicious. And then I'm going to place my other tortilla on top, and I'm going to let the first side cook. It's going to take about 2 or 3 minutes on the first side. Just make sure that you check it. You want to make sure that the cheese is melting on the inside so that when you flip it over, that the contents do not fall out. So I see it's melting. I'm going to flip it over. Oops, it's a little bit browner than I wanted it to be, but it's still going to taste delicious. Don't you worry. I'm going to let it cook on its second side for about 1 or 2 minutes, and then I'm going to cut my quesadillas into triangles, and I'm going to serve them. I cut these into 6. So I cut them in half, and then I cut each half into thirds. You can cut them larger, you can cut them smaller, whatever you prefer. I just like to serve them on a dish all together with my guacamole, my pico de gallo, and my lime crema. If you want to add steak, chicken, or shrimp into the middle of these quesadillas, that would be a great addition. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to our channel.